Hello! Hi, it's Twi. Hope y'all are doing great. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. If I sound a little bit different, that's good. Let me make sure. That's good. Okay, I just want to make sure my BGM wasn't on by accident here. So I currently have no filters on my microphone. So if things sound a little bit different, or if I peak the mic at any point, sorry. Today, I'm going to be doing a sequel to a really old stream that I did that ended up being a little bit scuffed, where I made a short cover start to finish live on stream. Just to kind of demystify the process a little bit, make it a little bit more approachable for other people who are maybe interested in learning how to make a song cover but have no idea where to start, or if you're just curious, right? If you're just a part of the casual audience, you want to peek behind the curtain, a look at what goes into it. We're gonna do a little short cover today, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make a billion tracks. I'm way too zoomed in. I'm just gonna make a bunch, and I'm going to turn off audio monitoring on all of these, so you might hear me twice briefly. Basically, if you leave this on, you'll hear yourself back in your ears. But unless you have like the perfect equipment for this, there's gonna be a delay. It'll super throw you off. You won't be able to sing properly. So we're gonna turn all of that off. And now we've just got a bunch of tracks that we can easily record to. So you're going to want to get your song instrumental. I'm going to be singing Suisei's new song, Suisei by Hoshimatsu Suisei. I thought it would be fun, and I'm really enjoying this song, so I'm looking forward to singing it a little bit. And if you need to know where to download a song from, it will definitely depend on what you're doing. A lot of songs that are made for covering, like Vocaloid songs and stuff like that, will just have the download in their description. And you won't have to worry about copyright nearly as often with stuff like that. You have to be a little more careful otherwise. But you can definitely look on YouTube for the song title plus instrumental or off vocal. And if you find that, there's plenty of websites that you can use to download it. I used wav.ninja is the one that worked for me right now, but they tend to come and go. Definitely be careful. Some of them could be more sketch than others. So make sure that everything is safe. But once you get your instrumental, I'm going to go ahead and first of all, I'm going to turn this down because it's going to be really loud. There we go. Clean. And we have to decide where we want to start the cover from. So I'm thinking probably for a short cover, we'll just start from the bridge. So this is a good spot. We're going to split this here, use S. I don't remember if some of my hotkeys are changed. So if they are, you can always go into, I believe it's Actions, Show Action List. And then there will be a pop-up. You guys can't see it right now, but that will show you everything. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make the pop-ups visible for you guys. I forgot to do that before stream. Okay. That might be tricky. Because I don't want to accidentally show something that I'm not supposed to show. Okay, stream should buffer for a second here. I'm gonna be right back. Just don't mind the buffer for like 1 minute. We should be back. Hello. So I have to be careful that I don't accidentally show anything I'm not supposed to. Whoa, why does that actually show off my desktop? I think that's fine. Hopefully. I might have to go in and cut stuff later. Okay, so what I was saying is if any of the keybinds that I mentioned today are different than what I said for you, you go to Actions, Show Action List here, and then you can go in and rebind whatever you want. So let's say split, for example, here. There's split at edit or play cursor, and then you could click add and then S, and then it'll offer you to rebind. So if anything is not a default keybind, you can go in and change it like that. I'm going to use V to open an automation window here. And I'm going to put a dot with control click. And I'm going to have this kind of do a fade-in effect. So we're going to start it really quiet and then let it come up to the volume that I want. Maybe a little bit quieter on the start. Maybe that's too much. And this should probably come up to speed at this bar right here. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this dot. I want this right here. This should be fine. Okay. So, with this done, now we can actually start singing. So I'm going to start us off by making 2 main vocal tracks. This is not necessarily because we're going to record the vocal in a double yet, which is where you sing the same part twice or 3 times or however many times you want. This is just to alternate. So believe it or not, your favorite singers do not sing the entire song in one take. Your favorite singers, they're not that consistent. It's not that easy. Artistically, it's a little bit limiting. So we're going to have 2 mains that we can kind of swap between. We're going to do that for everything. Also, hello TND. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to start recording. My vocals are probably going to be a little bit quiet because I've found that this microphone is very easy to peak if I'm not being careful. So I'm gonna have to put some space between me because we can always boost the volume later, but if it peaks now, then that's kind of very difficult to undo. So make sure you don't peak your microphone. Pro tip. All right, well, let's record this. Let's record this bridge part. 散々な思いをしてきただろうに見上げてよ空に Suisei. We'll do that. I'm going to give it a couple takes just so that I can choose between whatever I think is the best. 散々な思いをしてきただろうに見上げてよ空に Suisei. We'll do one more. 散々な思いをしてきただろうに見上げてよ空に Suisei. Some of these might sound a bit harsh with no effects, obviously, but we'll make things sound pretty later. Okay, mostly good, but the daroni sound a little awkward. That's better. Okay, and then this one. 散々な思いをしてきただろうに見上げてよ空に Suisei. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do this once at the start, and then we'll do more of the comping later. This is called comping. It's short for compositing. So we're basically gonna take the best parts of different takes. So I like the opening of this last take the best. I like the middle here. This is like a cleaner sound up until this, so I want this. I just want the daroni. That's actually like the only part that I care about between these two. And then here. 見上げてよ空に Suisei. に Suisei. Maybe this one's a little bit... I think this is like the best for me. This is like late, actually. This takes maybe better. We can shorten the note with auto-tune later. That'll do. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this back up to where it was. Or well, yeah, the automate is still good. Okay. So I may record harmonies for this part later, but I'm just gonna go into the chorus for now, I think. So let's record our main vocal for the chorus. I'm gonna split the chorus into 3 parts, so that I have like full breath the whole time and I can focus on getting each part sounding the way that I want it. Let's go, and I'll give myself a little bit of a lead in here. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう We'll do a few takes for this. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう The chorus is like, sorry, the instrumental is like a little too quiet. I actually can't hear it well right now. Let's get it a little louder. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう Do a couple more. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう I'll do one more because I don't like any of the takes for the first word yet. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう Okay, I surely have something decent in there. I want one with like a short ending for reference point. So here we're going to make our doubles. I'm going to make 2 for now. And we're going to record 2 doubles to make a really wide sounding effect. So we're going to try to sing the same way that I just did here. And we're going to make them really quiet in your left and right ear so that it sounds like there's a chorus of people. Is the idea. So I'm gonna do that really quick. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう And these don't have to be as perfect because they're gonna be really quiet. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう So we're gonna make these for simplicity's sake. I'm actually gonna like make this sound kind of like it would in the end just now, but you would want to, if you're gonna not mix it yourself, if you're gonna send this off to somebody else, make sure you don't touch any of the volume knobs, any of the panning, do no effects, don't do anything to it if you're gonna send this to a mixer. But if you're mixing it yourself like I will be today, then you get to do this. So I'm gonna pen it. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう So you can hear it sounds a lot fuller when you do that. And I'm gonna do some harmonies as well. So I need to leave room for 2 more doubles so that we can continue our alternating pattern. So I'll have 4 double tracks and then I'll do 4 harm tracks. You don't have to name them. I'm just doing it to keep things organized. So I need to figure out what the harmony for this part will sound like. Pro tip, if it's a Japanese song, a lot of the time you can Google the song name with Hamori, Hamori, especially if you put it in the katakana. And there will be videos on YouTube of people who just record the harmony parts and you can just copy them. So that's really useful. You can also look on places like Vegan or Twitter. And some people will release harmony guides for songs. So they'll already record all of this out and make it accessible to you so you can just copy them again. Usually they cost money, but depending on the song, maybe you can find a free one. You can also commission people to do them for you. You can just try really hard to listen to the song and hear the harmonies yourself. Or you can, after a while, if you build some intuition, you can just like freestyle it. As long as you're close and you can fix like a place where the note is off by 1 or 2 in the end with autotune and it sounds natural, it'll probably be fine. But that obviously takes experience. If you don't have any sense for harmonies, if you don't have any music theory background, I don't have any music theory background, but I have enough experience that I'm okay. But yeah, this is something that you just kind of learn to feel out. So if you're new and you don't really know what to do, maybe try and see in advance before you pick the song if there's like a harmony guide out there, if that's helpful to you. But okay. So I'm thinking kind of like 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう It's what I'm thinking, so I'm going to try that and see how that sounds. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう Okay, let's put these together. Yeah, that sounds like it'll work. So we'll just go ahead and record our double for that. I'll leave this on, I guess. 誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう誰かがこぼした涙かける頃誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう Might need to fix the timings a little bit, but just as like a quick fix, I'll do this. Hold on, I need to like, if I'm gonna do that, it's literally just this first phrase. It's a bit late, so I'm just gonna like slide it. So let's hear these together. I mean, it's gonna sound a little bit wonky because I'm not a phenomenal singer. I'm decent. And there's no auto-tune or any effects yet to pretty up my voice. So for now, it is what it is, but... And we'll make the harmonies a bit quiet as well. I'm just gonna put them the same as the... I'll put them a little bit louder than the doubles. We'll do like -8. But you can see how big of a difference layering your vocals makes, because that is the sound of our raws with harmonies and doubles, and this is normally. You can hear a huge difference in how nice that is on your ears. So if you're gonna record your covers and you want it to be like good, don't skip on recording your doubles. Don't skip on recording your harmonies. They make a big difference. They're really important. So highly recommend that you put your time and your effort into doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna mute most of this because I just need a lead in to record the next part. So we're gonna do the next 2 lines. Generally speaking, I love chunking songs into like 2 lines at a time. I feel like usually it's the perfect balance of keeping everything cohesive while giving yourself time to breathe, time to do everything, and it doesn't take so long to do multiple takes, so you can get like a good take on your main vocal, you know, and you can try and focus on specific words or phrases that maybe are a bit difficult as you go. All right, let's do the next part. Oh wait, I need the instrumental. What am I doing? 何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 We'll do one more 何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実I kind of want to, like, I don't like that I'm going kara instead of kara, like, kara ne. Like, I want it to be a little bit more of an R sound, so I'm gonna do one more take. 何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 I don't know if that actually came out the way I wanted, but I tried it. Let's take a listen. 何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 It's a pretty clean take overall 何十光年何十光年何十光年何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 Okay, I like some of the phrases from this take a lot, like the start. 何十光年離れていた離れていたって関係ない I like the power on these. I think this part maybe was a bit better on the softer bit. And then I'm gonna make a splice like here. Oh, it's gonna be tricky to get right. We'll have to see if that ends up like sounding unnatural later, but for now, I like doing this. Cool. So let's go ahead and we need to record our doubles for that. So you'll get a feel as we go. You know, the cover process, it's actually not that many things. It seems like a lot when you first do it, but you got to do the same things like a bunch of times. So you get used to it pretty quickly. Okay, let's record our doubles. 何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 That's gonna need some timing to fix later, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and mute the mains. Also, if you're ambitious enough, you could do like multiple different harmonies on the same thing. So you could record like a lower harmony and a higher harmony, for example, because you can harmonize like a choir would per se, instead of just having like one harmony. But that's a lot of work, and I'm not that musically gifted, so I'm just gonna do one. How do I want to do this? I think like na. How'd this go? Na nan nanjuko. How'd this go? Nanjuko ne. Okay, well it should be ko nen hanare te itatte kankenai. It's like it feels a little off. Hold on. Nanjuko nen hanare. I'm not sure if that's gonna be right. It doesn't feel right. Nanjuko nen hanare te itatte kankenai. Maybe? Let's just try it. Wait, how does this part go? I don't know. Wait, this is tricky. I might have to listen to the original. I could also leave that as like an emphasis phrase, so I only have the main playing there, and then it kind of sticks out in a way because there's not a harmony. That might be correct. Let me listen to the original and see what that sounds like. Does that even have a harmony on that last line? I don't hear one. maybe that's the emphasis line there. So what was it again? This looks fun. It is. It's a fun process. I think that works. Okay. I can't think of this harmony part like off the top of my head. It's throwing me off. What was it? Okay. Okay, so I accidentally sung the same note here. Maybe like I think that flip could work. Yeah, okay, let's try that. 関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実願いよ何十個年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 That sounds right. A little bit of the intro sounds a bit off, but I can just fix that with auto-tune later, so it's fine. I just have to get the transition. 何十個年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 I think I messed up the ending notes. Yeah, so you can hear if you do your harmonies wrong, it will sound very wrong. Okay. The flip on this wasn't quite clean, but I'll probably just settle for it. Gotta turn these down to match the other ones. And do our panning. I have these just as hard pans in each ear. I think I maybe want my harmonies coming through a little bit more in this, so I'm going to turn them up a smidge. Cool. So we're almost done. We need to record the last bit of the chorus. So we'll go from here. All right. I kind of want the instrumental a little bit louder still, because I think the rhythm is really important to hear here. We'll do one more. I actually really like that take as is. I don't think it needs to like be comped with anything, which is wonderful. So now we need to record our doubles for this. たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つたらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ Yeah, similar enough. Be fine. たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つたらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ So I feel like I should mention some of these takes that I'm doing for my doubles or for my harmonies, they're not like perfect. If you're really serious about it and you want to make a really good cover, you should be like stingy about these takes too. And you should take, you know, like do multiple takes for your doubles, do multiple takes for your harmonies, go through, comp them if you need to. Make sure that everything is like perfectly timed and tuned. You want your delivery to be super similar. But as you're also going to hear, they're pretty quiet. Most people won't notice. And so if it's not like a project that you're trying to go 110% on, it is totally okay to just get a good enough take for your doubles, for your harmonies, because this kind of stuff, it's a lot more labor than you think necessarily. You know, there's a lot. We haven't even started the actual audio work. This is literally just recording it. So if you're letting somebody else do the audio work, you know, maybe it's not so bad to go super hard. But if you're going to do things yourself, give yourself grace. Perfect is the enemy of good. So it's a lot of work, and it's totally okay to get it done at the cost of having it be literally as perfect as it could be. Okay, let me think. So what do I want for the last line here? たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ I think something like that probably. Let's try something like that. Let's see how it goes. Wait, what was it again? Oh, also I'm recording to 2 tracks by accident. Whoops. Okay. たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ I messed up the high note a little bit. That's a little high for me, but I can get it. たらたらたらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ It's good enough. I forgot the note, sorry. I missed it again. たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも I'll get it, come on. たらたら光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つ My voice broke a little bit. Whoop. Let me have a drink of water and then I'll get this. Excuse me. It's hard to remember. Sorry, I'm really bad at remembering harmonies. Harmonies. Hope you guys are better at this than me if you try it. たらたら光っては消えるだけ I could settle for it, like I could auto-tune it, but I want to get it like naturally. Like, oh, I lost so much volume there. Please. It's probably okay. It's probably good enough. Like I just said, perfect is the enemy of good. I need to settle. Okay. So we have everything recorded now. Let's unmute all of these. I'll have to maybe edit the last note there with auto-tune to be a little bit more audible because I want the harmony to be like like I want that like no, like that high power note right there. But okay, let's give the raws a listen. I haven't been able to read chat for a while. Welcome everybody. Hello. Also, hello Sam, hello Gio. Oh, sorry if the original song was really loud. My bad, guys. Okay, let me listen to the raws. Let's see how we sound. Okay, pretty good. There's a couple parts that aren't like perfect, but I think on the whole sounds pretty nice, especially for just being raw vocals. So I'm gonna keep things on the simpler side today. I think I'm going to only bother timing the main vocal to the instrumental. It should absolutely be noted that you are supposed to time all of your doubles and your harmonies to be in sync with the rest of the song, but it's also a lot of work just for a short cover. So a lot of the time I just keep them quiet and it's like close enough that nobody really notices. But if you want to do that, you definitely should. I'm going to turn my mic effects back on. Okay. So my microphone should be sounding normal again. Hello, everybody. Now that we're finished recording, we're going to start off with Melodyne. I will say this tutorial is not free. In fact, I will be using the paid stuff. I'm going to use the stuff that most people in the industry use to sound good. So definitely keep that in mind if you're trying to go completely free. Melodyne does have some cheaper version or like some lower tiers. They're still pretty expensive, but you can roll with them. But yeah, if you really want to get into doing your own audio work, find a way to get Melodyne. I would say this plugin is extremely good, extremely useful. There's not really a good cheap alternative, but you know, If you do manage to find a way to do that, that's wonderful. If not, maybe see if you can get somebody else to do your audio work, or just have fun with it without doing autotune or using a cheaper one. Either way, right? Okay, so for pop music, I pretty much always set my pitch, center, and drift to 80%, and then quiet and loud to 30%. I don't really have a good reason for this. It's just kind of vibes based, and this has worked for me forever. So it's what I do as a starting point. Okay. Also, on notes that have like big swings like this, you kind of want to use this cutting tool to try and slice them, because it tends to tune them inaccurately. But we'll go through and we'll just listen to what the algorithm retunes everything, and we'll adjust it where necessary. Okay, wait, this should be in 2 or 3 notes. 3 notes probably. Cool. And now we're gonna make some timing adjustments. So I'm gonna quickly turn the instrumental even quieter. So also you go options, time grid, and turn that off so that you can adjust more precisely. I'll like slightly make this less vibrato. Maybe not actually. I can hear like the cut point. You can hear where the vocal like cuts out. So I'm gonna make these not have fades, and then I'm gonna drag it like so. I'm gonna I'll do another split here and get rid of this because it's in the way. Maybe just pitch shift. Okay, this last note needs to be a lot shorter. Make this like a lot shorter. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna bring Melodyne down to main 2. I'm going to do the same thing. We're just going to do 80% to both, 30% to these. And now we're going to edit this part. Let's go through and make the cuts like at the start actually, because I keep forgetting to do this. 誰かがこぼした涙かけるから誰かがこぼした涙かけるから誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう Tuning sounds fine. Let's go through and fix the timing. 誰かがこぼした涙かけるこぼした涙かける涙かける I also want like this note that slides in to be a bit quieter. Not that much. It's hard to get this right. I think that this take might just be a bit unnatural, so you can turn your effects off with this button. So let me listen to what this sounds like then. Yeah, that like there's just like a very like harsh like to it. It's just like not quite clean. Let's try using this take instead. You will have to reapply these if you make a cut after the fact. That sounds a lot better. Yep. Glad I made the change. Sometimes you just figure out your comping as you go. Okay, so let's go back to this track. This is like a weird... There we go. Let's make a lot of chops here to get all the slides to tune correctly. So there's a lot of slidey notes. Use the pitch drift tool for stuff that slides in a way you don't want to kind of like fix it. So let's go through and do like timing fixes here. Something that some people may have noticed by now. Sorry, I've been kind of quiet. I'm just focused, right? But auto-tune is pretty OP. You might realize that, you know, the voice sounds a lot better just like independently now than it did without any effects, with just auto-tune. Auto-tune goes a huge distance in taking a decently good performance into a great performance. Every singer uses auto-tune for a reason on their tracks. And this is part of why I say find a way to get Melodyne if you can, because it is genuinely night and day how a raw vocal recording can sound with and without auto-tune. It makes a massive, massive difference. You'll notice there's tons of places where my like vocals were kind of clunky, like the timing's not quite right. They edit seamlessly when you do it this way. You know, maybe the notes were a bit wavery in like an uncontrolled way, and it gets smoothed out nicely doing this. You get all of this stuff. Yes, you don't want to do it too much because you'll lose the organic sound, but I think a big thing that a lot of people don't realize is that when it comes to especially pop music, but just music in general, as long as your original performance is more or less hitting every note, if you're not off by more than like half a note at any given point, you will probably sound almost completely natural. With auto-tune turned on. You can go a fair ways and still have it sound like not stylistic auto-tune, just clean. It just makes it sound kind of, you know, very seamless and nice on the ears. So let me go back to doing my timing now. I've hit my yapping quota. Now I can go back to doing audio work. Do I want this take for this? I think this take is actually better. Let's use this one. Let me do my cuts. What is like this ginormous slide? It's probably fine, whatever. We're gonna go select these. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, I have everything on. Wait, I forgot to re-solo. That's a spoiler for how it's gonna sound, man. Actually, wait, maybe some of this should be this pink take as well. Never mind, that part sounds trash on that take. Oh wait, hold on, I need to turn the effects off. Maybe I'll do this. We just need to delete this note. Oh wait, the S attached to that. Okay, so I need to use the split tool, keep the S, get rid of the other part. Lots of last minute comping. A lot of the time I just like to figure things out as I go anyway. This note just sounds late to me. Maybe it's that this is too long, so like by going early, I'm stretching it too much. I think that sounds fine. There we go. What's the song? The song is Suisei by Hoshimashi Suisei. It's her newest song. If you guys like Hololive, I really like Suisei. She's my favorite singer. Probably just period. Big influence for me. And she recently did a song with Tuki, who is another really good, or it might be pronounced Suki, but they spell it without the S, so I don't know. But they did a song together. Well, it was written and composed by Tuki, and it's a really, really good song. I love it. So check out Suisei by Suisei if you like it. Yeah, it definitely sounds more melodic that way. I really wanted it to hit with each drum hit. You know what I mean? I think that having those hits together sounds nice. I like it. Hold on. Let me make sure that this part is tuning right. Also a couple parts where it just sounded a little bit harsh to me. So I might have to use a different take depending, but we'll see. I want to check something because the first note here sounds a little harsh to me. I'm wondering if I peaked a little bit. If I did it on all of them. So maybe what I'll do here is I'll just turn these down a little bit. And it'll probably be fine. Let's bring the instrumental back so I can time. Or wait. Maybe it's just too high. This part's like hard to get the timing right. I think I need to hear like the whole verse again, like the whole phrase. I kind of want to like put a space between these two notes. I feel like it's just kind of dragging a bit long on this. But now it's like compressing the vibrato and it sounds wrong. This one phrase is tripping me up. Maybe I'll just let it be syncopated. Maybe that'll make it interesting. I think that's good. I think that's good enough. So let's now hear how this sounds with the auto-tune finished. On the mains, anyway. Okay, the beginning sounds kind of scuffed now, though. Okay, this is late. Cool. All right, let's go through and do some effects now for the vocal. Let's make it sound a bit nicer. So we're gonna set a section to loop, and I'm going to pull up an EQ to start. I'm just gonna use the built-in one for Reaper because I don't own a fancy EQ. I don't think, anyway. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and listen for any frequencies that sound like really harsh. So we're gonna do a reductive EQ first. So this part sounds a little like tinny in that like 500 frequency range. I think that's about all that I'm worried about for that. Yeah, that little area does sound like a Pringles can. Yes. Sometimes the voice just does weird stuff like that. We're going to add a compressor. There's like a billion good compressors you could use. I've been using this Waves one that I got on sale ages ago for the longest time. It just works decently for me. So the idea is that we're going to get the entire vocal into this threshold. We're going to turn the compression way up because this is pretty quiet as is. And so this is going to make the sound kind of squish down. It's going to reduce the kind of echoiness that might have been in my room because I didn't record this in a like soundproofed environment at all. If you want to get a better sound where you don't need as much compression and you can get your microphone louder safely, use a blanket. Put a blanket over your head and over your microphone while you're singing. You'll get a much better sound environment. I have like a DIY vocal booth that I normally use that is basically just a bunch of soundproof blankets that are clamped into a box that I can stand in, and that lets me use my nicer compressor microphone that needs a very sterile sound environment but sounds very nice, very detailed. But if you're in a room where you can't control your sound as much, just use more compression. Everything sounds good with lots of compression. So now this is going to be quieter, but it also balances your sound level. So the more you compress your vocal, the less difference there's going to be between like something softer like this and something super loud like this. When you get like more and less dynamic in your performance, that will kind of get squished with the compression. It's going to create a more even sound level, which is generally a good thing. A lot of the impact of dynamics is through the way that you produce the sound rather than the actual volume of the sound anyway, I think anyway. But But it is worth noting still, right, that it will affect that. But okay, so we're gonna turn the gain up on this. I'm gonna make it a bit faster, so we're gonna turn the release and the attack down. Next we're gonna do a reverb. There's a bunch you could use for this. I got a bunch of Waves plugins when they were on sale, so I'm gonna use CLA Epic here. This gives me a lot of different reverb options. There's like a billion things you can use. Tall reverb is decent if you need a free one. I know some people really like the older tall reverb. I couldn't find a download for it ever, but it's good. But I like this one. It's a paid plugin, but it works well. So this has like a bunch of different delays and reverb effects. We're gonna use like most of them just very turned down, and they will come together nicely. Valhalla is good too. Yeah. I think that it can be like really wide for vocals sometimes. If you're talking about Supermassive is the one that I think I've had before. I never really figured out Supermassive super well, but it is a good plugin, admittedly. There's lots of good free plugins you can figure out how to use that'll work well. I think that Melodyne is truly the only like mandatory not free plugin for mixing vocals, and you can do everything else on free stuff if you know what you're doing. It just takes some digging, it takes some knowledge, but you can get a lot done without anything paid other than Melodyne. Melodyne truly has nothing that like does the same thing, and that I've found anyway. But all right, let's make some reverb. I don't always use all of the delays, but I like the tape delay. So these delays, a lot of the time, they'll add like a nice sort of fullness to your vocal when the instrumental's on, because it just makes everything sound a bit longer. So I like to have this. I'll turn these down a bit more though, because I want them to be very subtle. And obviously your reverb should sound a little too echoey when you have no instrumental on, and it should blend nicely when you have your instrumental on. Or I think I don't always use the throw delay. I really like the slap delay. Slaps is a really nice delay because it just works really well to make your vocals sound fuller. Big fan of that. And then crowd delay I use sometimes. So we don't need much crowd because I have a lot of harmonies and doubles, but so that's how we're sounding with the delays. Now let's get the actual reverbs in. I want most of my reverb to come from the room and the space ones from my experience so far. I like the sound of those two a lot. I like the way that that's sounding. I might end up adding more reverb, but we'll see. And then, so the last thing you would normally do here is an additive EQ. This is basically the same thing that we did before, but we're listening for like nice frequencies that we want to boost up a little bit. There's a really good plugin for this called Fresh Air. This is free. that just kind of does this very nicely on its own. It's good to add some brightness to the vocal. And so if we listen to this now, let's listen to this phrase one more time with and without any effects. This is including no autotune. Ah, I'm realizing why this doesn't sound right. I forgot a de-esser. This is an extremely important thing. So this should go right after your compressor, usually, is where I put this in the chain. You're going to want to set this anywhere between like 6,000 and like 10,000-ish hertz for the frequency. And you want to just put the threshold right above where your normal speaking voice goes. So let me loop this again. Oh, this doesn't have any S's in it. Okay, let's use this area because this has a couple S's. I'll do 2 de-essers with one of them at 10,000. And that'll help make it so that the S's aren't as strong. Very nice. That's sounding clean. So let's take these effects. Let's bring them over to my other main track. Or actually, you know what I'll do? Let's just take these out. So what you can do is you can make another layer above this and make it a folder. And then take your vocal effects and we're going to put them in here. Here, I'll just do that just so I get this. We're going to put all of this here. And now all of our vocal layers will have these set. There's another keybind that's really important to set in Reaper, in my opinion, is having the option to automate whatever the last thing you touched is. So I have it set to L. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click L, and now I can automate how much reverb we have, which is great for if you don't want to have to manually control stuff like that and have like a bunch of different presets. Just go here and like make the intro like, I don't know, 10% instead of 30, and it'll probably be fine. Move this up to like 15 maybe. Okay. There's like a weirdly crunchy sound on the word daro in the middle here. Oh, I see. Oh, wait a second. It's because I didn't like the dot is in the first one, so it's like mid-word cutting. Okay, so let's get this in the take. I want my breath to actually be more audible here, and I want to like not cut into it. Because I think the breath adds a lot here. It actually makes it sound a lot more natural. Oh, it's from the purple take though, so I should do this. And then... Psych, it's from the Gray Take. Okay, I lied. Let's make this like very subtle. Maybe this should just be a longer note, but so some of the harmonies need to be like tuned, I think, to make it sound quite right. There's a couple spots where things sound a bit wrong, but on the whole, this sounds really crisp. I like this. So I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna do Melodyne instances. If you have the top tier of Melodyne, which I very recently got, you should probably use the standalone like program for Melodyne, because that way it's a lot easier to edit multiple tracks at once. I just simply haven't done a project like that yet, so I'm not used to it. So I'm not gonna worry too much about getting everything like perfect. You know what? Actually, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can, for these, make another subfolder. Can I just go Melodyne in here and then do like all of them? Or surely that's not how this works on Reaper. I don't know that the VST plugin actually does this. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay. So scratch that. I will do this the slow way. I'll do it the slow manual way, like I have for many a time. I'll just go in, set this to like 80/80, and I'm just gonna quickly try and see if there's anything that comes out too egregious. Whoa. There we go. We're just gonna go through and do all of these quickly. I'm just speed running for stream. Close enough. I'm just going through tuning everything to be a little bit more smooth, and then I'm just going to iron out any of the most egregious timing differences, like any syllables that are really like audibly delayed from each other. And once that's good, I think we'll probably be done, since I'm not trying to be like super perfect about this. 何十五年離何十何十十何十五年離れていたって関係ない愛ないだけがしない慣れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけ慣れそれだけがそれだけが真実 Yep. Let's do this one. A lot of audio work is just being meticulous. That's why I feel like this part I don't have as much to say, because there's really not a lot to say. There's just a lot to listen to. 何十五年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけ関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 Yep. Now the harmonies, there's probably going to be a little bit more actual note adjusting to be done for the harmonies. I also think Melodyne is a lot more likely to just break and like make really random adjustments, because it'll always push the note like one off of where you have it. For the most part, it's just whether or not it goes the right way. Oh wait, what? I was looking at the wrong thing. Oops. Let's leave that alone. It's also like unpan this just so that it's natural to listen to instead of only your left ear. Should be like this. Cool. So it's okay to like flatten stuff more for the harmonies. Here I'm just using pitch modulation and drift to kind of flatten this note out a little bit. Especially for like harmonies and sometimes doubles and stuff like that, it's okay to have them sound less natural, because they're already like a hugely background element to the sound anyway, it's actually very vital that you make sure that they don't do anything too abrasive that can like interrupt the experience. So even if it sounds a bit less natural, if it sounds smooth, that's kind of more important in a lot of ways. I think. That's kind of my philosophy when I'm doing tuning. But of course, it will vary for everyone. 誰かがこぼした涙かけるから誰かがこぼした涙かけるから誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろうザラザラ I want ザザザザザラザラ光っては消えるだザラザラ光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙 Here we're gonna do the same thing to this note. も確かにこの宇宙も確かにこの宇宙の一つ Cool. Now we just got 2 more to go. We're almost done with tuning. Almost. 何十五年何十五何十五年何十五年何十五何十五年 I need to hear what this note should be, so I'm going to bring the main back so I can hear. 何十五何十何十五年離れ Yep. 何十五年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実会いに来たからね会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 Yep, that sounds good. And we'll do one more. Boop. Last track. 何十五年離れていたって何十五年何十五年何十五年何十五年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実 Alright, so now everything is... Oh, wait, I was listening to the wrong one. Whoops. 何十五年離れ何十五年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれ会いに来たからねそれだけが真実会いだけが真実 There we go. All right, so now everything is tuned. Now we're just going to go through and listen for anything that has like a very strong sort of like anything that sticks out as out of time particularly badly. So normally if you wanted to be really thorough, you would actually time all the vocals to be like in sync for everything. I don't have time to do that because it's going to take hours probably. Especially if I'm doing it manually like this instead of using the very expensive features of very expensive top tier Melodyne. So I'm just gonna get the worst of it. So let's take So one of them, one of the doubles, I can hear this note's going too long. Whoa, whoa, not what I meant to click. Forgot to move this back. Still something in the left that's late. The double? Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, I need to sync this like note. Okay, let's make a cut here so that it's natural still for the most part, or as much as I can. Left ear harmony. There's like a very long exhale here. I'm gonna make this quieter and also my Melodyne scrolled. Come back. Alright, that's pretty much the worst of it out. So now let's rewind this to the start. I think I'm going to turn the harmonies a bit quieter. I think they jump out a bit too much at the current. Let's listen. I'll turn the doubles down a little bit too, just because everything is louder now that I've got compression on. 散々な思いをしてきただろうに見上げてよ空に水星誰かがこぼした涙かけるから誰かがそれに願いをかけるだろう何十光年離れていたって関係ない会いに来たからねそれだけが真実ただただ光っては消えるだけの僕らも確かにこの宇宙の一つAnd we're gonna do the same thing at the start, but with a fade out here. Make sure that we have the vocals kind of cut off any sort of trail that they have to. And then I'm going to quickly hide my screen because I need to render something. And I don't want to show my file names by accident. Why is that there? Get out. I hope you guys like my black void of screen here. I believe that I recorded in 48. Okay. Let's render just the... Oh, wait, no, cancel. So I'm going to render only my vocals here really quick. I'm gonna do an advanced technique here that requires another kind of pricey plugin. One of the two that I have, Melodyne being one of them. So let me bring this back. Boop. Welcome back. So this is just the acapella. I just rendered everything with the instrumental muted. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this all the way to infinite decibels down. We're going to, I'm going to use Soothe 2 here is the fancy plugin. This is like a dynamic EQ type thing, I believe. I'm going to turn sidechain on. I'm going to drag the acapella into here with pre-fader post effects. And it should also be noted that you have this like acapella that you're sending is just infinitely negative decibels. It doesn't need to have anything. So if you solo this, you're gonna hear nothing, obviously. But if you check what this is listening for, the plugin can now hear this entire acapella bus. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna disable this band. I don't care. I'm gonna take this like middling band. I'm gonna make it a shelf of the whole thing. And this is gonna basically make the instrumental listen for my vocal and carve space. It's gonna like cut the frequencies in the shape of my vocals so that they merge more seamlessly instead of competing for the same space. You only want a little bit of this. Now what we're gonna do to finish things off is we're gonna go up top here. I'm gonna do another instance of Soothe 2. Mastering Balance to the Grammy Awards, just a preset that sounds nice. And then I'm going to get a limiter. I just use the kilohertz one, it's free. And just to make sure that things don't peak, and then that's good. I do want to fix the timing of this. I'm gonna make these like a little bit quieter. Give that one more playthrough, because I think I just changed the balancing of something, but I think we're good here. Yippee! Oh, I have it looped. There you go. That is how you speedrun a cover in 2 hours. A short cover. But I hope this is maybe insightful for anybody who is newer to VTubing or just music in general. You want to get into it and you have no idea what to do with your vocals. Maybe this can serve as a reference for that. Maybe for people who are just doing the recording, hopefully the recording part at the start could be helpful. And even if you're just curious, I hope you found it interesting or enjoyed watching this come together from nothing in just a quick 2 hours. You know, obviously there's a lot of things that this could have done to polish it up. If you go and listen to any of my full song covers on my YouTube, especially in recent times, they're a lot more thorough than this. I recently put out my cover of Mega Taskaru by Camellia. I did an English cover that I'm super proud of, and that, of course, has loads of layers and very thorough mixing. I worked really hard on that one. So if you want to hear some of my more serious stuff, feel free to check that out. But yeah, this was fun. I'm probably going to end up making a YouTube short out of it. So I hope it was insightful for you guys. I hope you had fun doing a little singing content. I haven't made my schedule for next week yet, but tomorrow's always my day off anyway. Is Monday and Thursday I don't stream. I have like a proper cover that I need to record for tomorrow, so I gotta get myself a bunch of time to do that. But I will post the schedule in the Discord, on Twitter, on like YouTube posts, all the usual places, so you can keep an eye out for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you had fun. I hope you found it interesting, and keep an eye out for the short where I put this up. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye bye. Take care, everybody.